Hi, how are you doing? So this is Jerry Kayas. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the paradigm shift. So having a paradigm shift is something that is a process of growth, because every time that we discover something new or that we learn a new piece of information, our paradigm actually shifts. So our minds are designed in a way that they are always working, they're always functioning. This is how we actually dream, this is how we think, and we're always creating something. So, having a paradigm shift is an experience where your mind is engaged in a certain understanding through the realms in your mind, through interaction and getting new information. So when we are looking at the way that our minds are shaped, we are observing that our minds are created to, or are formed in a way that allows them to take in new information, digest new information, and to actually utilize this information. So when we look at Adam and Eve, they were first at par, which is P-A-R. And then this is when they were balanced because they were at par, like par or parents, par entities. Because bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, says that God wanted to create someone who would be his helper, which means that they were co-parenting or something like that. But then they were actually parents. These are parents, par entities. So through this they were in a paradise, which is the word paradigm, but we just changed the two last letters from GM to an SE, which is paradigm and paradise. So when someone is in a paradise, it means that this is a state of mind where a person is able to experience bliss. So they were in paradise, which means that they were in a certain paradigm. So this paradigm was how they were processing life because of the pattern of thought that they had as entities in creation. So having a paradigm is to have a pattern. This is to have a template. So to have a template is to have a way of doing something, a way of seeing something, an archetype. To have a template is to have a paradigm, which is a way of thinking. So in paradise, or having paradise, is actually having a way of thinking. So having a paradigm shift is having a shift in the way of thinking, in your template, in how you process information. So a paradigm shift will mean that how you retain information will have a certain skew, because remember we're talking about parents, or they were parents, but then the information from the serpent gave them a certain skew, that they were in a different pattern because of that. So through this information they did something that created a paradigm shift because of information. So if you are at par, which means that you're in balance. When you have this balance, it means that everything is corresponding to how you think, how you believe, and how you behave. But when you have certain information that is new to you, and you have this pattern of recognition that this means that and that means this is a template. So when you have this template, it means that when you get information, you process it in that way. So the paradigm shift that happened was a change in information that changed the template, or that changed the state of mind. So the change of state of mind is how their eyes were open. That's a paradigm shift. So paradise itself is a paradigm. So this paradise is a state of mind as well. So when the Buddha is looking for a paradigm shift through his whole life, this is the goal of Buddhism, which is to have a paradigm shift that takes a person to paradise or nirvana. So this is a paradigm shift, and it's a state of mind but it's an actual place at the same time. Nirvana, like I have found nirvana. So I have found the Garden of Eden. So where is the Garden of Eden? The Garden of Eden is a state of mind because it's a paradigm. That is the paradise. So when you're at par within yourself, then you're in that balance because this is the root of the paradigm. It's a par because it's a pattern. It's a template. It's a template, which means that it's a temple. Template is a temple. So this template is the temple, the way of worship, how you actually process the information. So a temple is actually this part of your anatomy where your mind is, well, not your mind actually, your brain is. So this is where your state of mind is. So statement is right here. So when you have a paradigm shift, it happens in the temple, in the template, in the pattern. So this is the paradise, the paradigm, the par, the temple, and the template. It's all in your mind. So when they ate from the fruit, they got a paradigm shift, and they shifted in terms of how they thought and how they processed information. So if you happen to get a paradigm shift, it means that you have certain information that comes into your inner form and it informs you so that it transforms you. So this transformation is a paradigm shift based on information. So when you have a paradigm shift, it means that you are experiencing a new way of processing information, the way that it comes to you. Because you know where the temple is, this is where your eyes actually are. And this is where the ears are as well. And these are the portals that you have. You have the temple here, the ears here, the eyes here. So all of your portals to your body, these are the gateways to your mind, to your mind, which is the brain, the heart, and the stomach. This is how you like go with your gut, think with your gut, or listen to your heart, but you think with your brain. Things like that. This is the part of the mind, but the temple is here. This is the template. This is the paradigm. This is where your paradise is. So if you want to find paradise, if you want to find the paradigm, then what you're looking for is the pattern that you use in order to recognize what life is to you. So the patterns that we have are the ways of thinking. This is a paradigm. So humanity is having a paradigm shift actually because of how the world is changing. So people's minds are transforming. This is a paradigm shift. So when you get certain bits of information, this shifts your paradigm, and this is how it works. So in order to change your paradigm or to go to paradise, it's a state of mind. It is a state of mind. So how you understand the paradigm is how you process the information, and how the information affects you will determine your template and will determine how your paradigm is going to be formed, your patterns, your habits, your things like that. That is the paradigm that you're in. So when you realize that our paradigm in this world is fixed on the patterns of this dimension, which are the three shapes, which are the trinities of everything, but also which is the boxes and the circles, because they are shapes that determine our lives. So the main shapes are the boxes. Like chances are right now you're looking at me through a box. Probably this is a box you're using, and I have to use a circle to record this, like a camera lens. So you see that when you have a box, you have a place where it actually starts, where it actually ends. Like you can name or identify all of the corners. So the box mindset is the left brain, but then you have the circle, which is round, which is a shape where you cannot identify where it starts and where it stops. So this is why the circle is like round, the knot, the nous, which is spiritual because it's a spiral, it's a coil. So this circle is spiritual because if you have something spiritual, it means that you're inspired. So when you have this inspiration, you don't know where it came from because it's just round. Where does it start? Where does it end? So this is the paradigm that we live in. And then we have the numbers or the figures. Everything is a figure, everything is a number. So this paradigm gives us our understanding and how we process information in this dimension. So having a paradigm shift in the third dimension is to be able to comprehend with the saints what is the length, the width, the height, and the depth. So having the fourth dimension is having a different paradigm. Having a different paradigm is how you will begin to see different connections or different information in a certain form, in a certain formation. So when you have a paradigm shift, it means that you will have different information, different patterns. Every piece of information is a pattern. So a paradigm shift is a different pattern. So this is the power of the paradigm shift and the strength of your mind. So having the right mind is having paradise. Having a paradigm shift is changing the state of your mind. So this is what nirvana is all about, and this is something that Buddhists are doing day in and day out until their paradigm shifts, until they're in a certain alignment where they can just be in the space where they're positioned in a certain way that they just get information, like it's just an inflow of information. So this is the paradigm. So this paradigm is reached through different ways, but understanding the basis of it is just knowing that it is in the temple, it's in your mind. So this is the template. So thank you for watching this, and may your mind be renewed through learning and through getting information that is essential to your growth and to your awakening, or to everything that pertains to your holiness, which is complete, which is the round again, the circle or the spire. So thank you a lot, and I'll see you soon.